It's over for Carmelo Anthony. Today's day in court just sealed it. This will be known as Bloody Friday in the murder trial in Texas, ongoing right now. The black teen who now has multiple witnesses testifying against them. Some of them are black, saying exactly what happened when Carmelo Anthony stabbed to death young Austin Metcalf at a track meet. The murder weapon was shown to the court. Carmelo Anthony fidgeting for good reason in court as heartbreaking video shows victim's twin brother react to the fatal stabbing. They have the body camera footage now that has been released. I'm quite upset that they don't have this trial televised. It would be great. It'd be healing for the country if you could see televised trial like this. And like every trial, I wish every trial like this would be televised so that people could see the testimony and they could witness the evidence and it could all be put to rest, right? There are still people that are big time pro Carmelo Anthony. They're racially tribalized, bloodthirsty sociopaths who should be deported, that want a race war is what they want. Hoo boy. Careful what you wish for. Austin Metcalf's twin brother could be heard desperately sobbing and screaming as the body cam footage was played to the court. Harrowing body cam footage after his brother was fatally stabbed by Carmelo Anthony. Holy God, Hunter Metcalf said through tears, praying and crying, "He's my best friend. He's my brother. Hurry up." The heartbreaking moment unfolded as medics and bystanders crowded around the bloodied body of Austin in an attempt to revive him, CPR. And the video was shown to the jurors the day of the murder trial, but it's not just that. Anthony, now 19, sat in the Collin County courtroom in McKinney, Texas, fidgeting, touching his lip and averting his eyes during the particularly graphic moments. At one point, he rubbed his eyes and his lawyer tapped him on the shoulder, effectively saying, like, get your act, sit up straight, right? The jury was shown the weapon used to kill Austin Metcalf. The photo was of a 5-inch folding knife with blood on it. The police officer testified after he found the murder weapon Anthony had tossed into the bushes. So he tried to hide the murder weapon and then he ran away. The knife was found 3 to 4 rows from where the crime took place. It was located in his backpack. Why did you have a folding knife that was unfolded and ready to stab in your backpack? When Carmelo Anthony heard Cortez say that he was the alleged suspect over the police scanner, Anthony voluntarily says, "I'm not alleged. I did it. He put his hands on me. I told him not to." This is, again, precisely the kind of thing that we are fighting here in this country, which is the ghettoization and urbanization of our criminal justice system. If you go into the wrong street, if you walk down the wrong neighborhood, then you'll get killed just for looking at somebody the wrong way. That's not American justice system. That needs to be put down. Body camera footage being played in court. Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, is heard saying, "Oh God," and crying and praying out loud. It's excruciating for people to watch. So here's what the witnesses say. And this is where you really get cooked. And where Carmelo Anthony's case is over. The judge told media not to identify the current witness. He's a minor. The witness says Carmelo Anthony was asked at least 15 times to leave the tent. He was from a different school. It was pouring rain. He needed to get out of the tent. He refused to leave. The teen says nobody ganged up on Carmelo Anthony. Witnesses said that Carmelo was provoking Austin. He said Austin Metcalf pushed Carmelo, but it wasn't a hard push. Carmelo pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the chest. He tossed the weapon and ran off. And they played the 911 call. Anthony went into a tent where he didn't belong. He was told 15 times to leave. He pulled out a knife and stabbed someone to death. Not only is he clearly guilty, but the self-defense claim is a farce. You should disbar the lawyers that are trying to bring it. He should be facing the death penalty, first-degree murder. We'll talk about that in just one second. You're in a tent that has a lot of people witnessing what's about to happen. Another unidentified teammate testifying, young teen, he's black, and he says that Carmelo Anthony was shoved by Austin Metcalf, but it wasn't a big shove. He said Austin's shove was so light that Karmelo didn't even touch him. They were sitting next to each other. Karmelo reached into his book bag and he said, "This is Frisco. You don't have anything in there." The teen adds that he believes that Karmelo was looking to pick a fight, not Austin. We've now found out that Carmelo Anthony was regularly a violent student. He had been suspended for violence at school. Poor parenting, poor fatherhood. Plenty of photos of him online with drug paraphernalia, with firearms, in gangland wear and outfits. And the kid had brain rot. The kid had ghetto, urbanite, black culture brain rot. That's what was going on here. And in that culture, and you know this is true, if you feel disrespected, that's a death penalty. Depending on where you are, like that's a death penalty. Listen to any rap song. This is a corrosive, it's demonic, it's evil, it's antithetical to Western civilization. It must be crushed here. Carmelo Anthony should get the death sentence. He won't, but we're going to talk about why in just a second. The people that are protesting outside in favor of Carmelo Anthony are showing exactly what we are fighting here. The woman in this video says she's going to stand by Carmelo regardless of evidence because he's black. You can see it. She came to the murder trial with her own alcohol, and she just wants to support a black person who killed a white person. This insane homicidal racial tribalism, it's not the exception to the rule or some kind of aberration. It's why black jurors are overwhelmingly more likely to acquit black defendants. It's a real problem in this country. So the body camera footage had been shown, the lifeless body on the ground. It was totally devastating. We were shown the knife, the blood was visible, extremely emotional. And we had witnesses say that Carmelo Anthony was the perpetrator, the aggressor, and somebody who was fighting. You know, a little shove isn't a death sentence. If you're making a self-defense argument, the self-defense argument needs to be they were trying to kill me. Not that they disrespected me or embarrassed me or that I'm some type of suicidal brain rot kid that has anger issues and violence issues because of my family. And therefore, I'm just going to kill anybody who disrespects me. That's not a self-defense argument. Self-defense argument needs to be they brought a knife and were trying to kill me, so I shot them. And here are the scars to show that they were trying to kill me. So this isn't going to work out great for Carmelo Anthony. He's going to be found guilty. The racially charged protests are just proving exactly the corruption and rot in certain communities in our nation. Black, urbanite, ghettoized communities that worship violence and respond violently to the slightest instigation. It's very, very bad. Really bad. Well, the only good cracker is a dead cracker, is what's being chanted outside.
Cracker is dead. Cracker is dead. Only good cracker is dead.
If it were a white guy saying the opposite, then that would be the number one leading news story in the world. But because it's somebody who's black saying it, not a bunch of white people, then barely even registers. Something horribly wrong. We really, really, really need to focus on the black violence issue in this country for the sake of black people, who are by orders of magnitude the most violent race in the country, the most violent race in the world, right? Like American blacks by average, and there's tons of data to back that up. And their victims are very often black. And so solving that problem would be the best thing you could possibly do for black people. And you won't end up situations like Carmelo Anthony. He won't be facing the death penalty because of a Supreme Court case that said that if you're under 18 at the time of a crime, you can't face the death penalty. So Texas, based on federal law, can't execute him, but they could put him in prison for the rest of his life without parole. and they can stack the charges high so that he'll never see the light of day ever again. And he'll die in jail. And why is that happening? It shouldn't happen. I don't want that to happen. Meaning, nobody should have been stabbed. Nobody should have died here. This is the effects of many, many bad decisions in culture, and it's something that we need to start talking about so less teenagers spend their life rotting in prison or dead.